Hello, folks. It's another beautiful Monday morning, and you are welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. Okay, today we have a few games. As we know that a whole lot of games going on across the globe, but we were able to select a few as usual, and looked into this few. Made our in-depth analysis on these before bringing it forward for you. All right, but we know that yesterday we had a very splendid outing. Yesterday we had all our games yesterday are coming out just the way we predicted them. We had five normal games that we predicted. All of them worked out, and also the extra three bonus games that we had yesterday. All the bonus tips also made it. We had 8/8 yesterday, so such a fantastic day yesterday. So I'll give it up to Vetcraft. We do so well. All right. Without further ado, we'll be heading to these football matches that we have for you today. But I want to use the opportunity to ask the folks who are coming across our video for the first time to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button down there so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. Okay, that being said, let's start the predictions. And today we're starting with the Norwegian League where we have Aalesund who will be up against IK Start. Okay, looking at how these two teams are fared in recent games, and also looking at the home and away perspective, we'll be able to make our verdict on these very encounters. But when we look at also on the home side, they've actually won 3 games in the last 6 matches, but they've also had one draw as well as 2 losses. And away side on the other hand, IK Start have won 5 games out of the last 6 games that they had so far. They've also had one draw. They've won 5 out of 6 and one draw. That's a very good one for the away side. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Aalesund have actually managed to achieve 4 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. They've also had one draw, but have lost 5 games in the last 10 home matches for Aalesund. And when you look at the away side, IK Start, they've actually had 3 wins from away. They've had 2 draws as well as 5 losses in the last 10 away games that they had so far. And quite noticeable is the fact that the last 3 away games for IK Start have produced a win for away side. They've won all 3 away games that they played in the last 3 away games. That tells you a lot about this very side. And also those 3 away games have actually produced lots of goals, over 5.5, over 4.5 goals in all 3 matches. Okay, in 2 out of the 3 matches, and the other one being over 3.5. That tells you that this is a team that scores a lot of goals as well and concedes also. And the last time they met, which is a head-to-head perspective, you could see that the last time it was Aalesund who were able to defeat this very side from away by 3 goals to 1. That was in April this year, and we also saw Aalesund prior to that very one. That was in 2021, beating this very side by 3 goals to 2. And putting all this together, we expect to see seeing that I know so much draws in this very in each of these teams last 10 games, we expect to see either side winning in this very one, but we're going to see over 2.5 as well. So it is over 2.5, 12 and over 2.5. That's our value for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next step for today, and it is also in the Norwegian First Division where we have Valencia who will be up against Aalesund. And Valencia in the last 6 have actually managed to achieve 3 victories in the last 6 matches that they had, and they've had 2 draws as well as 1 loss. And looking at the away side, Aalesund, they have won 2 games, but have also lost 4 games out of the last 6 recent games that they had so far. And bringing it to how these two teams are fared from home and away perspective, you could see that for Valencia, the home side, they've actually won 9 games in the last 10 home games that they had so far, losing one, which actually happened to be the last home game that they had against Fredrikstad. They lost that game by 1 goal to 0. And Aalesund, on the other hand, have actually been able to manage 5 victories in the last 10 away games that they had so far. They've also had one draw, but have lost 4 matches in the last 10 away games that they had. And the last time they met, which was in June this year, we saw the Aalesund played from home on that occasion, and we saw them playing out a 1-1 draw against Valencia. And in this very one, Valencia coming from home, doing so well from home, winning 9 matches out of 10. We expect Valencia to achieve victory in this very one, and it is a home win. That's our value for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next time. It is in the English Premier League where we have Nottingham Forest coming up against Crystal Palace. Okay, as usual, look at the recent matches for both sides. Nottingham Forest have actually won just a single match in the last 6 games that they had. They've also lost one, but have had 4 draws in the last 6 games that they had during that time. And Crystal Palace, on the other hand, have actually won just one game out as well, and they've had 2 losses, but they've lost. They've had three draws in the last 6 recent matches for Crystal Palace, their away side. And looking at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Nottingham Forest haven't been doing very well from home, but they have actually had lots of draws. They've had 6 draws in the last 10 home games that they had so far. They've managed to achieve one victory, which was against Millwall, and we saw them also losing out 3 games. All right, the last home game they played out against Fulham, we saw them losing out that very game by 1-0, and the other 2 were against Chelsea and Manchester City. And looking at the away side, on the other hand, Crystal Palace have actually managed to achieve 4 victories even from away, and they've also had 3 losses as well as 3 draws in the last 10 away games that they had so far. And looking at head-to-head perspective for both sides, you could see that the last time they met, it was a 1-1 draw. They played out against Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest played from home on that very occasion. And also prior to that, we saw Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest playing out to 0-0 draw. As a matter of fact, the last 3 head-to-head meetings for both sides have actually resulted to draws for all 3 meetings. And that tells you a lot about this very site. Be it Nottingham Forest that play from home or Crystal Palace that play from home, this has always seen a draw. And in this very one, we will definitely expect the home side who really who actually, in my own opinion, are showing more promise, because we've seen them actually had a win against the likes of Liverpool and also Southampton, all right, in recent times. So we do expect the home side, Nottingham Forest, to either win or draw in this very game, and under 4.5. That's our value for that very game. Home win or draw and under 4.5 in this very encounter. All right. Okay. Looking at the next game we have for you today, it is in the Spanish La Liga, where we have Valencia, who will be up against Las Palmas. All right. And Valencia in the last 6 have managed just 1 victory, and they've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses. And away side, Las Palmas have only been able to manage just 1 draw in the last 6 games that they had so far, but have lost 5 games out of those 6 recent matches that they had. That tells you how poor this team have been in recent times. And then when you look at how these two teams are fared from home and away perspective, you could see that playing from home, Valencia have managed to achieve 2 victories in the last 10 home games so far, and they've also had 5 draws as well, and they've lost 3 games in the last 10 home games that they have so far. And away side, Las Palmas, on the other hand, have not been able to win a single match in the last 10 away games, but the best they could muster is actually 2 draws from away, but the other games resulted to a loss for Las Palmas. They've lost 8 games out of the last 10 away games that they have so far. That tells you a lot about this very side, and it means that they're not doing very well playing from away. And also noting the fact that the last time they met, it was Las Palmas who played from home, and they were able to defeat Valencia on that occasion. That was earlier February this year. And the last time Valencia played from home, they also won against Las Palmas. That was last year, August. All right, in this very one, seeing that Valencia is a team that is trying to do well from home, seeing that they were able to defeat Verona from home. They were able to defeat Verona by 2-0. In the last home meeting with Verona, we expect to see a positive sign from Valencia in this very one. And in this very game, we still expect to see home side either winning or drawing, and under 4.5. That's all for that very game. Okay, that takes us to the next, which happen to be the last for the day. It is actually in Italian Serie A, where we have Hellas Verona coming up against Monza. Verona have won 2 games in the last 6 matches, but they've also lost 4 games. And away side, Monza have managed 1 win, 3 draws, as well as 2 losses in the last 6 recent matches for Monza, their away side. And looking at how these two teams are fared from home and away perspective, you could see that for Hellas Verona, the home side, have actually been able to achieve 6 victories in the last 10 home games that they had. They've also had 1 draw, but have lost 3 games out of the last 10 home games that they had. And away side, Monza, on the other hand, have won only 2 games in the last 10 away games. They've also had 4 draws, but have lost 4 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And when you look at how these two teams fared from head-to-head perspective, you see that the last time they met was in February this year. Also, we saw them playing out a 0-0 draw against Monza. Monza played from home on that very occasion. And all right, prior to that, we saw Monza beating this side by 3-1 in November last year. And in this very one, we've seen Hellas Verona, shown promise this very season. The first match of the season, we saw them defeating Napoli by 3-0, playing from home on that occasion. So they do turn up when they play from home. And the last home game they had was against Valencia. We saw them beating that Valencia by 2-1 on that occasion. And we expect, another good performance for Hellas Verona side, the home side in this very one. So it is the home side also to win or draw and under 4.5. That concludes our predictions for you today on Betcraft. All right. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. Also, remember to play responsibly. These are football matches. Sometimes, things change. That happens. All right. That being said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. I will urge you to not miss out. But then, keep winning.